2 Premier League games to go, and this season just shows us that we need new defenders, right? Martinez and Varane are excellent, brilliant, but we can't rely on them for the whole season. This season has shown us that their injuries will take out the majority of the season. Majority of the season, Martinez has been out. Majority of the season, Varane has been out. So we need to buy defenders that are on the same level or better than them, but they can also stay fit. And the midfield as well needs a lot of work because we can't be relying on Kobe Mano because he's not ready yet. He's not ready to actually be the main midfielder. Yes, he can be the side guy, but he's not ready to be the main man in the Manchester United midfield. He's not as good as someone like Pedri, where you just put him into the midfield and just rely on him. Kobe Mano isn't that type of player, right? He needs players around him that will make him look better, right? So Kobe Mano, we need someone next to him that is genuinely experienced because Casemiro recently he's been playing in defense. Kobe Mano has been the main midfielder we've been relying on. So we need a new solution in the midfield. The same goes for Garnacho and Rasmus Højlund. They're not ready to be really the main players in those positions because if you look at Manchester City, when they brought in Erling Haaland, yes, he's young, but he was ready. So we need to go out there and buy young players that are ready. Young players like Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer is young, but he's ready. He's ready to actually carry a team. He's ready to perform. And Manchester United, we shouldn't put all our eggs into young players because the more time you give young players to develop, the more trophies Manchester City will win. So we need to actually find real life solutions to actually compete in the next 3 years. And it'll be interesting what the board do in the summer if they'll go for young players without experience, young players with experience, or just genuinely players that are genuinely just experienced, right? It'll be interesting because we've been linked to different types of players. So this summer, nobody knows what's really going to happen, but based on Omar Barada, he's worked with the City group. So I think we'll follow that type of path of young players that are ready. Because even Man City, Phil Foden, he was a bench player, right? He wasn't starting week in, week out, but he's better than the young players we have, right? We don't have a young player on Phil Foden's level. Maybe you can say Amad Diallo, but he hasn't proven that yet. Or you can say other players, but they haven't proven that they are as good as Phil Foden, right? You have to prove it in men's football, not just the academy. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. Newcastle, they're fighting for Europa League. So this game is genuinely gonna be interesting. For us to get the Europa League, Newcastle and Chelsea have to lose both of their games, which I don't see happening. And a club the size of Manchester United, we shouldn't be competing in the Conference League. So genuinely, it'll be interesting to see the position we finish. Will it be Conference League? Will it be 8th place? So next season, we have a clear view of, okay, how many games we're going to play. Since if we get 8th place, it's less games. And then I think the players will be more relaxed, right? It'll be less pressure, and that'll be a better season to actually develop the players, right? You focus more on the cups, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, League. And in situations like that, teams perform better because they have less games. There's less fatigue. Yes, Chelsea is a bad example because they never had Europe, but yeah, that's a bad example because most big clubs, they actually perform well with less games. Chelsea, it's just been a horrible season, mainly because of their striker, right? in the moments they needed them, they didn't perform. The only one that was performing was Cole Palmer. Yes, Chelsea have increased their level, but majority of the season they haven't been great. So we need to actually see what the direction is with the players we're gonna be buying, right? Because no Champions League, it will also limit the type of players we can buy. We can't buy the high quality players that people dream about, but that's where the scouts come in, right? You have to scout ready young players on a bargain that are gonna perform next season. So yeah, Newcastle, they're a good team, and it's gonna be a hard game. So yeah, we haven't beaten Newcastle since we beat them in the Carabao Cup final last season. So it's always a difficult game. I don't know what to expect. I'm just gonna say a 1-1 draw.